ice board, smiles.
Hey everybody, my name is Greg Devereaux and I'm a corporate magician based here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I thought I'd tell you a little bit about how I got to be here. Like a lot of kids, I loved magic when I was younger. I was a teenager actually, and I didn't get the traditional magic set that you hear so many magicians tell you about. I was actually a pretty bad kid, a mischievous kid. I would sneak out at night and me and my friends would get into a lot of trouble, and eventually it caught up with us and I had to do some community service. And so my parents very wisely paired me up with the local church pastor who happened to be a former touring magician. And so after that relationship kind of fostered me in the right direction, he challenged me to go to the library and learn a trick, and every trick that I could learn from the library and bring to him and show him, he would teach me something from his professional repertoire. And so that's how I got started in magic, and once it was in my blood, I could never get it out, much to the dismay of my parents, who obviously wanted to go straight to college after high school, etc., etc., which I did. And so after high school, I kept doing magic, amateur style, doing parties here and there. Nothing big time. Went to college, got my degree in business, and actually started the corporate life, business corporate life. And that went on for the next decade or so. Ultimately though, I landed in Las Vegas through a corporation. And it wasn't maybe 2 or 3 months that I was here that a weird set of circumstances landed me in front of my magic idol, David Copperfield. And so we were able to meet. I got a tour of his magic warehouse here in Las Vegas. And that's when the bug just clamped its jaws on my arm. And I said, okay, this is enough. I got to do what I love. And so I started doing it. And I got back into it. I trained very hard, learning new material, and then applying all the business knowledge that I had from my corporation jobs, and launched a magic business, which was me. I was the product. And so I would go out to corporations and perform for cocktail parties, sometimes for award shows, dinners, galas, you name it. So I can happily say to you that through all of this, I have now performed on the Strip, every single major hotel, Bellagio, Mandalay Bay, Caesar's Palace, all of those. But not just that, I've been able to travel the world, including to the Middle East, to Dubai for a couple of weeks, all to bring my magic. And this was all due to one simple thing, and that's following a passion, following a dream, and most importantly, is to never, ever, ever give up. So that's where I am, and I hope that through this interview process you can apply some of the things that I've learned with my business, that you can apply it to yours, and let's see you on the other side. My greatest fear is not trying. I have had some failures along the way. I've had disastrous magic shows. I've had tricks that just don't work. And these are very small, of course, in the grand scheme of things, but I am much more afraid of not ever trying than failing. The characteristics that hold true to being an entrepreneur is never giving up. You have to live it, breathe it, embrace it. It becomes part of your life. You go to sleep thinking about it, you wake up thinking about it. Hopefully it doesn't drive your significant other, up the wall. But I think that's really it. You look at new ways to incorporate your business in everything. How does networking with this individual help the business, or what can I do for them? What can my product do to help other people? And from that mindset is where you get your whole marketing plan. Is how does my services or my product help others? And from there it just builds onto itself. But to do that, you have to always be alert and always be looking for that segue. 110% important, that's all it is. That is absolutely the #1 skill that you have to learn. One of the things that was difficult for me early on is I was trying to balance that magic life and my corporate life. I was doing both at the same time. And I would go to different functions and different events, and people would say, "Oh, hi, I'm so-and-so, what do you do?" And I'd say, "I am a director of operations for XYZ company." And that's the absolute wrong way to go. It's like, if you're gonna be, in my case, if you're gonna be a magician, you're a magician. That's it. So now when somebody asks me, hey, what do you do? I say, I'm a corporate magician. I help companies entertain their crowds or engage their employees to help them see the greater message. You know, every single time it becomes a part of your identity. But networking, you know, they always say it's not what you know, it's who you know, and that's not a cliche. That is 100% gospel. I'll give you two. One is just kind of a personal little happiness moment, I guess, and that of course is getting to meet, and not just meet, but actually converse and collaborate on projects with giants of your industry. So if you're a tech guy or you're a computer software engineer, how would it be if you were able to sit down with, you know, Steve Jobs 10 years ago, or Bill Gates right now, and just have a lunch date with him and be able to pick his brain and talk about, you know, the trends going forward? You know, that would be amazing, right? Well, I get to do that in my little world of magic. So I get to ask David Copperfield questions about, you know, how can I take this to the next step? So that level of achievement has been extremely exciting for me personally. The other ones are, you know, a few months ago we were able to travel to Dubai, like I said, you know, halfway across the globe, and I took my wife with me, and that is something that we never would have been able to do otherwise. So we got there and we're sitting there on the Arabian Sea on the beach, and we just kind of look at each other and we're like, wow, can you believe that we're here? And not only are we here, but we're here doing magic tricks. I mean, how great is that? And so that was very, you know, affirming for us choosing the right path and following what we love. 10 years, I hope to be, you know, at the peak. And, you know, I think every magician has a different goal in terms of where they want to be artistically and financially. Artistically, since I am here in Las Vegas, you know, I do want my own show, but I want it to be a show that people can come in from all over the world and see something different. And that's the only way you're going to survive, especially in my industry, is what are you going to show them that they haven't already seen before? And with TV and YouTube and the internet, I mean, there's magic everywhere. So you have to give them an experience that's like no other. So artistically, that's my goal. And then of course, financially, of course, is to be completely independent. You know, I don't want my work or my job or my income to dictate the decisions I make in my life. You know, if I want to take a 3-week vacation in Malta, then I'm going to do it. 20 years from now, I hope to be retired and vacationing in Malta or the Canary Islands, or, you know, somewhere like that. What makes me happy? Well, in terms of professional life, and it has changed as I've gained more and more experience. I'll use experience rather than age. That's okay. But you know, now when I perform for somebody, especially when it's doing the close-up magic, you know, the cards or money or, you know, something in the hands, what brings me pure joy is when I see that I have made somebody else happy. You know, that smile or that sense of wonderment. You know, when you see a 50-year-old CEO eyes light up like a 9-year-old boy, I mean, there's nothing better than that. Or, you know, making a connection with people that otherwise I would have been too afraid to talk to, you know, 20 years ago. So now it's all about, you know, the joy that I can give other people that makes me happy. Personally though, I mean, you know, it's all about, you know, my family. And so being able to provide for them and give them the things that they want through doing this kind of work there's nothing better than that. Short-term goals, well, you know, it's been 4 years here in Las Vegas doing this full-time, and it's grown every single year. So short-term goals would obviously be to keep that going, to land a show that I can self-produce here on the Strip, and you know, I would be happy doing it anywhere in the country. It just happens that I live in Las Vegas, so why not here? So that has its own pros and cons. You know, some things that make it easier, some things that make it more difficult. But I think that's the short-term goal professionally, is to get it to change my audiences and do a set theater-style show rather than trying to pack up the show every time, load up a trailer and take it to a different venue every night. The formula is very, very simple. You never give up. No matter what people tell you, because they are going to tell you that you're insane, that you're crazy, that you're too old to start, you're too young to start. There's already one of those. You don't have enough money. There's always going to be the naysayers. And so number one is never give up. Number two is listen to wise counsel. So it's very helpful if you have a mentor, somebody who's been there, who believes in you, but was also going to give you the guidance so that you don't make mistakes that are going to set you back too far. So that's very critical. And third, I would say to be adaptable. A lot of people, especially those in my generation, when we grew up watching Magic, there was only one. There was David Copperfield, and that was it. And a lot of guys made the mistake of thinking, I'm going to be him. And so they tried to be him. Well, that job's already taken. There's already a David Copperfield. So that's not going to make you unique. That's not going to make you special. And that's probably the worst direction you can take. And you can apply that to anywhere. There's already a Walmart. There's already an Apple. There's already, all these other industries. Find your own path. Be true to yourself and stick with it. It would all be the same, with Magic, and I heard this advice when I was younger too, and that's to always be performing. Never turn down an opportunity to perform, because that's how people are going to remember you. Magic's such a visual and memorable moment if you do it right. And so you need to be prepared. If you know 1, 2, 3 tricks, that's fine. Just be the very best at them and attach it to your personality and be ready to go. What's next specifically? Specifically, we're in talks with a couple of venues here on the Strip, and hopefully one of those will flesh out, and we'll be able to bring some creative visions and bring some of the large-scale illusions and some of the small ones, and make an interactive magic show that is really going to, please audiences. And that's what's next.
This one's gonna be in the camera, sir. You can only use one word. What one word would characterize your specific life when it comes to becoming an entrepreneur?
Tenacious.